Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old, to history, to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. This is a new filming setup. Yes, it is. Quarantine life. Sometimes things need to change. So we're up here, we got a red beauty guru background for some reason. Trying to get my comics and stuff into the shot as much as I can. It may sound like we're in a cave. It's gonna be a journey. We're working on it together. Today, we're still on a Spider-Woman kick, because why be topical when you can fall down a rabbit hole? I can hear the echo. We're gonna get through it. Last time we talked about Spider-Woman issue 1 from 1978, and I learned some interesting things from the comments. One, a bunch of you got into the show because of the animated series from back in the day, the one where she literally had a Wonder Woman transformation. I have to admit, I've never seen this show. Should I watch it? Let me know down below. Also, funnily enough, she has a different origin to either of her comic ones at that point. Again, it was very much a get it out there kind of deal. Protect the copyright. 2, a couple of you were wondering, wait a minute, did Jessica name her baby after this Jerry? Is this Jerry the Jerry? Mr. Love across the soup cans? Is that what's happening here? I love a woman who can kick me into a pile of soups. I'm honestly still waiting for the plot reveal that he is the father, but we'll see if that ever happens. I'm pretty sure most people have just forgotten that he exists. He was created for this comic, this Spider-Woman 70s comic. He is Mr. S.H.I.E.L.D. agent love interest. Actually, Mr. Boyfriend, because they get together in issue 6. So is this a man worthy of naming your son after? Let's find out. These two's relationship vacillates. Some issues it's incredibly solid, like a dream relationship. And in other issues, they're having weird drama for no reason. So you know which one I picked, weird drama. And for that, we're gonna look at issue 9. Also by issue 9, we've already changed writers. We've gone from Marv Wolfman, who left because he wasn't sure what to do with her, and now we have Mark Gruenwald. Now you may be saying, that name sounds familiar. And it should, because on this channel, we've tackled 2 whole arcs that Gruenwald has done. We've done Cap Wolf and Cap on Ice, aka Meth. So get excited. Zany. To know her is to fear her. Beware the eye of the needle. This is meant to be clever because the villain's name is the Needle, and that's also a thing that people say. Well, actually what they say is Eye of the Needle because his power comes through his eye. This cover looks like it's half a page. Like his leg is cut off, so is his arm, like he jumped in midway. Spider-Woman's costume as ever looks cool, but her pose is again kind of like, okay, so what is she doing? It's not the worst, but it's not the best. Forgettable is probably the best word for it. Eye of the Needle? Okay, wow, they're really hammering that one home. Well, how about that? Jessica and I spend a pleasant evening at the theater, and then she goes and spoils it all by refusing to let me drive her home. I've got to spread my wings now and then, she says. How dare she? I too would fly/glide places if I could. I mean, I get it, I think. He wants to spend more time with her. Maybe I'm giving too much credit though. Maybe he just really wants to follow proper dating etiquette. S.H.I.E.L.D, they have a handbook, and he's like, the book says that you drive home after the theater and you talk about the show that you saw. Everything's ruined. Jerry proceeds to have a full woman. Why are they like this breakdown? But that's when he's distracted by a mugging going on in the distance, and he works for S.H.I.E.L.D. He can't just let this happen. Also, I mean, the whole evening's ruined anyway. So he springs into action and he comes upon the Needle, and oh boy, does the comic hype this up. One must forgive him then if his pace falters or his voice quavers a bit. For never has he faced so eerie an adversary as the Needle. Never? Really? He works for S.H.I.E.L.D. Jerry decides to get involved in this, but then the figure turns around, and you know what? Okay, the mask is kind of cool. I'm a sucker for one eye revealed, one eye not. It screams confidence in the fact that you only have one eye. The one visible eye freezes Jerry in place. Slowly the Needle approaches him with mysterious narration accompanying him. The man is not one of them, he thinks, but he has interfered, and so he must pay. He leaves his victim paralyzed in the alley, and also Jerry frozen there as well with his lips sewn shut. Meanwhile, we get to hang out with Jessica Drew a few pages in. Our Jerry interlude is over. He'll be back later to complain more. She knows she's bothered him by flying home, but she also doesn't understand why he isn't making more of an effort to get her. I can't avoid being the Spider-Woman. She's more than just a costume. Spider-Woman is a part of me, as much as Jessica Drew is. I can no more deny the spider blood flowing through my veins than I can deny the way I look. the way I think. Well, I mean, there was dramatic hair dyeing in the first issue, but by this point we may just be pretending that that's always been her hair color. I'm not sure. Anyway, she can't deny how she looks. See, this here is another difference between her and Spider-Man. Jessica would be Spider-Woman without crime to fight. She just would. It's part of her, like a manifestation of her spiderness, and she feels comfortable like that. Peter always has guilt with his persona, and he's tried to quit and thinks about quitting a lot. Spider-Man and Peter Parker are at war. It's definitely not a we're one and the same type deal. I love Jerry, I think, but he's gonna have to learn to accept me for all that I am. They have not been together for that long. But I mean, he did tell her that he loved her in issue 6 when they got together. It literally went, I love you, I want to get to know you better. And then they made out. It was all in that order. But on the flip side, I like that he knows that she's Spider-Woman and she knows that he works for S.H.I.E.L.D. So any of the miscommunications or any of their relationship problems don't stem from that. It's not about secrets being kept surrounding their identities. It's just Jerry and his dating etiquette. Why won't she date properly? The next morning, Jessica learns that Jerry is in the hospital, so she rushes over. Oh, your lips. You were attacked by someone who sewed your lips together. Her stance looks like she's nagging him, which amuses me to no end. How many times have I told you to stop getting your lips sewn together? Ugh, this is why I won't let you drive me home. Jerry wants to investigate together, but she wants to get started right away, and we have one of those, you made your safety my business when you started dating me. Again, they're having drama. Why won't she listen to me anymore? Jerry? She's never listened to you. I interrupt my snark to bring you some important news about Jessica Drew's pants. These pants are loving Jessica Drew, and I love them. I have a pair of pants that do that. Best pants. Booty pants. Do you have a favorite article of clothing that just makes you feel amazing or you feel really accentuates something that you like about yourself? If you do, I want to hear about it. Share. I told you about the booty pants. It's only fair. We also see people being creeped out by Jessica, which I like. They're maintaining it, at least for now. It's one of this comic's few consistencies that she creeps people out. Jessica finds nothing as Jessica, so decides to go out again that night as Spider-Woman. Like Jerry, she's drawn to the sound of a scream. Listen to me. I'm not going to hurt you. Chuck, man with the needle, he. Another man with his lips sewn shut. I guess he too will have to spend 2 whole days in the hospital because that's how long it takes them to release Jerry. She goes to see him the next morning. Guess getting those stitches out of his lips really required that they take up a whole bed. Also, Jerry is salty. He wants to know why she couldn't wait, and B, since when is she a vigilante? I just realized I didn't say A, but that's fine. Jessica counters that she doesn't know what she is, and she's just doing what feels right and seems right. And really that they should focus on this guy randomly sewing men's lips shut. So now the comic decides to give us a backstory. Just who is this man roaming the streets, attacking men and sewing their lips shut a la Loki, but doing nothing else to them? Well, he's an old man, and 6 months ago he was mugged. He was put in a full body cast, his one eye was destroyed, and somehow this triggered a repressed rage inside of him that he was then able to channel through that one eye and paralyze victims with it. He was a tailor before all this, so I guess the name The Needle felt appropriate. He remembers the first time he put on these new clothes. This old man would not be a victim anymore. This old man would strike back. This old man, he hunts men. He will hurt you even if you're innocent with a needle and a magic eye, cause he got mugged. Anyway, Jerry and Jessica are investigating together, and they've kinda sorta made up, but also it's still a thing. Jerry, I told you I do appreciate your help. It's just that because of my upbringing and my training, I'm not used to working with a partner. So while you do some legwork, I'll take to the air. If you need me, just yell. So that seemed fine, right? Wrong. Jerry's emasculated. How dare she? The twit. She treats me like I'm new at this because the needle got the drop on me the first time. Yeah, how dare she be worried about you? What a monster. Just like how she goes home by herself. Why is there suddenly so much friction between Jessica and me? Because of you, Jerry, seriously. She's been telling you why she's acting the way that she's acting, and she's also trying to meet you halfway. She doesn't hang out with people. She was raised by the High Evolutionary, essentially. Also, nothing she's done is particularly outlandish or outside the box. I don't know, tell me what you think, but this to me comes across as a Jerry thing. Also, twit. Dang, Jerry, tell us how you really feel. So anyway, Jerry gets caught by the needle again, and Jessica happens upon them right when he's about to get his lips sewn shut. Am I too late? No, I see his lips are still untouched. His lips, yes. He needs those for for reasons. The Needle is amazingly limber for a self-described old man and even manages to dodge one of her venom blasts, which she then needs to recharge. She gets him, but he's not down for the count. He even manages to freeze her with his paralyzing rage power. She is quite unlike any of his other quarry, he notes. But that will make a little difference. I don't like his lack of discernment. You can't get to the A-list with this little lack of discernment. But I do like that he keeps his needles in like a little wrist gauntlet. That looks pretty cool. Wish I had a wrist gauntlet. But he gets so focused on sewing her lips shut that he doesn't notice that she's not actually fully paralyzed. And so she's able to sneak a hand up and do a nice little venom blast. So he gets taken away, and Jessica tells Jerry it's fine that he did nothing because he's feeling guilty about that because he was frozen and he can buy her dinner instead. She gets to save Jerry a lot in this series. He can be her damsel when it's needed, basically, or when they're not sure what to do with him. Basically like any side character. Again, side characters, no matter gender, age, anything, they're there to be kidnapped. So that was issue 9, aka Jerry and Jessica bicker over Jerry's insecurities. Also, an old man goes on a quest for revenge, telling young people to get off his lawn by sewing their lips shut. It's very much a one and done. The Needle isn't particularly memorable, and he has no ties to Jessica, and he's not even all that menacing. Like, yes, getting your lips sewn shut would suck and hurt, but it's also not top tier villainy. You get to see more of Jerry and Jessica to the point where they even pull focus away from any Spider-Woman stuff. Which again, depending upon what you like, can be okay. Like, not every issue has to be an entirely action-packed adventure. Like, you can have issues like this. But for some, the balance might feel off. It was nice to see no secret identity relationship problems. Well, not the traditional type anyway. It was more, Jessica, what do you think you're doing? And Jessica being like, I don't know, being a hero, I guess. Still, if you were thinking, I'm not sure about this relationship. I'm not entirely sold or not sold. I need to see more. Well, you better hurry up because they break up by issue 13. It has nothing to do with stuff like this, by the way. He gets reassigned back to England. They're not in England right now, by the way. He gets reassigned back to England and he leaves, and she decides that she wants to stay where she is. It's actually pretty amiable. He even leaves her the house they're staying in for 2 months so she can just hang there until she finds a new place. So now you know more about Jerry and Jessica. You're welcome. Why talk about topical things like safe space when you can talk about this? Also, why talk about that? Because it's just sad and, well, tone deaf and upsetting. I'm Sash and thanks so much for watching Casually Comics. Please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think of the background. I feel like I'm really liking it because I feel really energized. But also the sound's probably like filming in a tin can, and I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I'll see you all again soon. Sooner, because I has set. Okay, bye-bye.